Thank you.
Yeah, certainly will. Hi, Alan. Good afternoon.
Hi, Jess.
Hiya. Good to see you. No David Moyes today. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. I spoke to him this morning, but he's not been in as we hoped he might have been. He's feeling okay, but at the moment we're still just following all the guidelines and the various protocols. He's in contact with the medical people, obviously within the club, who are in contact with the relevant people at the Premier League, and it's been deemed that it's not right for him to come in just yet. So we'll take it day by day.
No problem. Anyone else on the injury list or illness list ahead of the game?
Well, we've got the two other lads who had the positive tests, and so they're still in a position where they've actually been back in now, so that's good. Other than that, we've pretty much got a full squad to pick from. Ryan Fredericks having the injury from before, but otherwise we're okay.
Good to hear. I see that there was a confirmed new signing this morning. What do you expect Vladimir Coufal to bring to the team?
Well, he's a very experienced player for a start. I think everyone's known that we've been certainly short in terms of any depth defensively, so it's fantastic to get another defender in, someone who is obviously highly experienced both at club and international level. He's got a pedigree of a lot of international caps. He's played a lot of European games, Champions League, Europa League, so he's certainly someone that we feel adds to the defensive unit that we have.
And are you happy with the current quality of the squad, or would you like to bring a few more players in the next few days?
Well, I think probably every manager is out there trying to find some more players at the moment. I don't know too many managers in any transfer window who are fully satisfied with the squad that they have. Everybody's always trying to improve things, and we will continue to look at players, I'm quite sure, up until the window closes.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Ian?
Hi, Alan. How are you?
Hi, Ian. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. Just going back to David Moyes not being around today, did you anticipate him being on the touchline at Leicester, or do you think he'll be coming back to the club after the international break?
Probably at this moment, I would think that it's more likely that he won't be on the touchline at Leicester, but that's something that can change during the course of today and tomorrow. So we'll carry on working the way that we'll be trying to work in his absence, albeit that he may not be here in person, but he's obviously heavily involved in what we've been doing and making the final decisions in everything that we're doing, and that will continue whether he's on the touchline or not.
The club was linked heavily with James Tarkowski at Burnley. You brought in a right back in Coufal. Obviously, there was an injury to Ryan Fredericks. Do you still need more cover at centre half, and do you need cover elsewhere on the pitch before the transfer window shuts next Monday?
Yeah, ideally, I think we do. Just pure numbers in terms of the players who could fill in different roles. So I think ideally we would like to continue to strengthen the squad, but it has to be the right players, and players who will be the right value in terms of the money that they cost, and then of course what they bring to the team and how much of a contribution they make, because we don't want to be spending a whole lot of money, which seems to be necessary in this transfer market, on players who won't make an impact.
A couple more. First of all, take away the opening day performance against Newcastle. Actually, it's not been a discouraging start to the season, it's been an encouraging start. And last Sunday was a terrific performance. You go to Leicester, who are obviously flying right now, and this is going to be a good test of actually where you are going into the international break after the first month of the season.
Yeah, this is a huge test. Obviously, Leicester they've started the season extremely well. They've got a lot of very talented players. They've got a lot of pace in the team. It'll be a real test for us going there. As Wolves was last week, as Arsenal was the week before. Everybody saw the fixtures when they first came out and thought, oh, they look difficult. But I have to say, whoever you look at in the Premier League, it looks difficult. But no, if we have the same level of performance as we did in the last two games, as you rightly say, against Arsenal and against Wolves, then we'll be competitive. And then how the game actually pans out, we see from there.
And the last one from me, it's obviously going to be an emotional day on Sunday because it was this fixture a couple of years ago where the tragic accident happened for the Leicester owner. And it will be difficult and rightly difficult to get away from the fact that really the most important thing about Sunday for Leicester, for the home team, is obviously remembering that.
Yeah, well, of course. I think it was clear what everybody at Leicester thought of him, the important part that he played, and the type of person that he seemed to be. I never had the privilege of meeting him, but certainly you just have to gauge the effect that it had on so many people and that impact. And yes, I'm sure it will be an emotional time for them, but at the same time, as professionals, they will have to put that to one side after whatever it is that they're going to put on happens. And I'm quite sure that it will not have an adverse effect on the performance.
Thanks, Ian. Emma?
Hello, Alan.
Emma.
Could you give us a bit more of an insight as to what it's been like to have David Moyes not on the touchline but still communicating through the coaches? Because there was a sort of suggestion that maybe after your fantastic performance against Wolves, maybe he should stay away more often.
No, definitely. I don't think he should do that. We need him back, and we need him back as quickly as possible. The manager is obviously one of the key people at any club, and whilst the rest of us can try and relay his messages while he's not around, the only way to really get them nailed down to exactly how he wants them to be delivered is for him to deliver them himself. And so we really could do with getting them back as quickly as possible. But it has to be right for him, and it has to be right for everybody else at the club, because clearly these are very difficult times.
It sounds though as if he and the players who tested positive haven't had any reaction in terms of they haven't fallen ill. Is that right?
Yeah. I think they've probably had the odd little bits and pieces of some symptoms and so on, but clearly this is an illness that affects people very severely on a number of occasions, as we've all heard, and so it's a very serious thing. I don't think anybody quite knows what the kind of full effects are, and I don't think it's consistent. It's different from one person to another, and so vitally important that we're careful. Vitally important that we follow the protocols and the guidelines that are in place, and that we, first of all, think about the safety of the individuals who have the illness, but of course think about the safety of everybody else at the football club.
It seems that with games being played behind closed doors, maybe home advantage doesn't count as much anymore, but is it too early in the season to suggest that maybe West Ham are struggling away from home?
No, I think we've only played the one game, obviously, in the league. I don't think that we can read anything into the results at the moment. I don't think it's been long enough for any pattern to emerge. I thought we were extremely unfortunate to come away from Arsenal with nothing, and we would hope that with the same level of performance at Leicester that we could get something. So I certainly think it's far too early to make any or to draw any conclusions about anything to do with the league and where people are likely to finish this season.
Thanks, Emma.
Can I ask one more question?
Go on, Emma.
I just wanted to know if you're confident of keeping Declan Rice.
Yeah, well, I am, but I don't know everything that goes on, obviously, at the club. But I know that Declan certainly behaves every day in a way that he's extremely happy here, and I know that the club don't want him to leave, and I'm looking to sell him. So as a result of those things, I can't see why he would leave.
Thank you. Cameras off. Jack, do you want to start the written section, please?